I come in peace. Hey Meta, I come in peace. We just want the old algorithm back. Welcome to another episode of One Thing I've Learned. I'm your host, Kiara Staley. We have a major problem. The internet went in an uproar because Meta decides to launch a new Instagram feature which allows us to share locations. That location stuff was like, if the man that's already been stalking me from all the fake pages wants to look at my tag that I just posted at the restaurant, then he's going to be able to know the exact location of where I am. He going to want to pull up and he going to want to kidnap me. That's a hypothetical and it can possibly happen. So that's how dangerous sharing locations can be with strangers. If I tag New York, New York, then you're actually going to know where in New York, New York I actually am. That's scary. We don't want that. I would just suggest to turn off your precise location. One thing I really did learn, in all honesty, though, is society is very fixated on where people are to the point that Meta would think that that was a good idea. I'm always down for trial and error. This was a trial and an error because there is major safety risk. Somebody on the team just needed to be like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. But as a society, it really made me deep dive into why do we care so much about the people, places, and the things of the world. Being a millennial, I have been around long enough to kind of realize like, hey, we've been fixated on things ever since Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee came out with that sex tape. It kind of made me realize that pop culture, although it was like the biggest phenomenon of probably all time, but it did create chaos. But luckily, we didn't have social media yet. So the most we were doing were keeping up with blogs like Perez Hilton, Media Takeout, or AOL News, or have the sense of urgency to be like, let me open this app and see what Kim Kardashian is doing. That wasn't available and accessible. So now that it's so accessible, that where oh my phone matches the ambiance, now that it's so accessible, you get to the point where you're fixated on it. Like if I'm fixated on Kim, I can have the alerts turned on, so every time she posts I already can see. I get the notification to my phone and I open it with a sense of urgency. What do we do about this? I guess is the damn moral. One thing I've learned is we don't really have an answer or a cut the cord to this fixation that we have with wanting to know the who, what, where, when, how, and why. Does it serve me? And I think that that's where we need to like come to terms with as a society is it serving us when we are being provided this information? Because with social media you scroll and you receive so much information, but do you have to retain it? Do you have to pay attention to it? Do we have to be so strung out on it? It's like now it's an addiction, it's crack. I even thought about it this morning when I was thinking about this, like this episode, because I was like, yo, we don't even have alarm clocks anymore. Like the alarm clock community died. And if you still have an alarm clock, shout outs to you. But our phones are literally on 24/7. Rain, sleet, snow, or hail, this phone is on. Our devices, period, are on. Because how often do you turn off your laptop? Unless it dies. Then you immediately go get your charger. And if you have a Mac, then you know it's coming back on in like 3 seconds. What do we do? Do we go buy alarm clocks from Amazon and then just turn our phones off at the end of the night like normal people? Who, what, where, and how, and why made it okay for us to be that addicted that Meta would think that that feature was acceptable? Because we can't just say that this is Meta just pulling this out of their ass. Somebody on the team, if not everyone, obviously thought that that was a good idea. But is it us as the consumers that made them think that it was a good idea? Or is this just everybody just going left and just hoping that it was going to be a good idea? Because I can only imagine how many people bugged the fuck out to the point that they probably like got rid of their Instagrams. And if not deleted it in totality, then at least deactivated it because they probably are just scared shitless. I wasn't scared. I was just like, yo, we are not getting the algorithm that we want. That's all I want is the algorithm. With the Instagram that used to be blue, like I want retro shit. That's not too much to ask for. I don't feel like it. Once Instagram would change the icon back to that old retro camera that it used to be, that's when I know we're on to something. I might be asking for too much, but just can a girl live? Thank you. Now, I looked up just out of curiosity, like Instagram sharing location, like just to see what the people on the internet were saying. And not, I meant like Google. And Australian Broadcasting as their headline, Instagram's new location feature has left the users feeling sick. The Washington Post, this was the kicker for me. Location sharing was cool for Gen Z until Instagram made it weird. When was sharing locations cool? Like, do they mean sharing it amongst your friend group? Because I personally tried that once, and the one friend that I did share it with, she freaked me out to the point that I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Because friends don't use it for emergency purposes. I quite frankly feel like friends use it to be nosy. Like, don't ask me if I'm home if you know you just checked my location. Like, wait, Zuckerberg, we can talk, babes, because I'm so serious about how we can reconstruct Meta to be the greatest metaverse of all time. And I would love to know y'all thoughts about that, about just how have we transitioned from a society that had no choice but to mind our business, where now we can't mind our business and we have no discretion on minding our business, because it even gets to the point where we don't care about minding our business, that if we don't like something we physically see, we'll comment on it instead of just scrolling. When I mean we, I'm just speaking for a society, because I don't do that. I think being a creator, I know firsthand where it's like, you could have kept that comment, buddy, and you could have kept scrolling. I didn't have to give a rat's ass about that stupid ass comment with your typos that you decided to type to try to prove a point. Like, fuck off. However, there's people that grew balls enough to want to try to make unnecessary comments. And it's just like, wow, we should have the discretion, we should have the manners, and we should know how to mind our business. And that is the most disheartening part about society. Where did we go wrong? And can it even be repairable? Wow, that was deep. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna write a fucking book. Wait till I turn 50, bitch. It should be called One Thing I've Learned, right? Because one thing I've learned, I'm gonna just spit mad shit. Watch. Remember that. But then I also was thinking, I can respect the fact that Zuck owns Instagram, but why we don't leave certain things for Facebook? Why certain things aren't just Facebook only? If the elders, pardon me if any elders, if my elders are watching this this episode, but if the elders that are on Facebook and that demographic wants to share locations, go off. The catfishing is real, the stalkeration is real, the crazy niggas are real, and you think I'm about to be sharing some Instagram map? I remember when Snapchat tried that. I mean, like Snapchat, like back in the day, Snapchat. But when Snapchat tried that, and mind you, sharing locations wasn't even available on iPhones yet. So it was like, whoa, you're pushing it, pal. And that once again gave people the opportunity to be nosy. If I send you a snap, look at the snap. Not trying to play inspect the gadget and try to look to see where I am. That serves you no purpose, and it just makes you look nuts. In conclusion, Meta, I say this with respect, would just want the algorithm back. That is it, and that is all. These days, I correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I don't even know what I'm watching on my feed anymore, because it's not people that I follow. My feed literally has just a bunch of bullshit. And I thought that that was what the explore page was for. Come on, Zuck. I could we could schedule a call and we could talk about it. That ass. I will help you. I'm like the voice of the people. Nobody has ever said that, but I'm saying it. Comment below and let me know your thoughts about the Instagram's newest update and whether you liked it or disliked it. Let me know. If you think that it was dumb, stupid, or slow, let me know. Let's talk. This is an open book. Remember, we're hippies over here. Peace and love. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Duh, what kind of YouTuber am I? Psh.